Welcome, curious minds, to another deep dive.
Good to be here.
Today, we're looking into an excerpt from Lena, which is book 1 of the Bailey Girls series by Max Jones. Now, it's described as erotic fiction.
That's right.
But our mission, really, is to unpack the narrator's, unique internal monologue. It offers some fascinating psychological insights, into how he sees intimacy and control.
Definitely. It's quite a perspective.
So we're aiming to pull out some surprising observations from his specific point of view. We'll be navigating the sensitive stuff carefully, staying at an overview level, so you won't hear any explicit details or bad language from us.
Just focusing on the how and why of his thinking.
Exactly. Okay, let's unpack this piece of writing.
It's really striking how, right from the start, the narrator frames his desires through the lens of his job.
He's a fashion photographer, right?
Yeah. And he makes this very clear distinction. He enjoys taking photos of beautiful girls and, he also enjoys having sex with them, as he says. But, and this is key, he believes that by the time they are in bed with me, we have already made love.
That's quite a separation. So for him, every photo session involves a kind of lovemaking, like a creative and beautiful exchange that ultimately produces art.
Right. And he suggests that physical sex usually comes after that creative act.
But he does admit there are exceptions. Like with Lena, he says sometimes the physical desire comes first, and the photography is maybe just an afterthought.
And that's a really telling inversion, isn't it?
How so? What does that signal?
Well, it kind of drops the artistic justification, doesn't it? It suggests with Lena, the primary objective is more direct, maybe more primal. The usual process is flipped.
Okay. So the artistic frame is usually there first, but not this time.
Exactly. And what's also interesting is how he describes Lena. He sees this charming innocence in her.
Right. He says it momentarily disarms him, appeals to his paternal instincts even.
But that feeling is pretty fleeting. It gets overridden quickly by his, main intentions.
And that dynamic seems kind of present throughout, especially when you remember the age gap. He's 29.
And she's 21.
Yeah,
that adds another layer to that whole paternal thought, definitely.
It really does subtly shape things. And, speaking of dynamics, his view isn't just about Lena. He introduces her 3 sisters, too.
The Bailey Girls.
Yeah, he first met them many years ago, he says, when they were just in their teens and early 20s. And his descriptions, again, they're instantly evaluative, very much from his photographer's eye.
Oh, absolutely. It's like he's immediately cataloging them, assessing them based on his desires, even from those early encounters. It's not just observation. It's almost like scouting.
Right. Like Vella, the youngest. He notes her sour-faced look, but finds an odd kind of raw sex appeal in it. Straight away, he's thinking she'd be an excellent model.
And he even has ideas for how she should be shot.
Exactly. And then there's that seemingly odd taboo thought about taking her for a burger. It sounds innocent, but in his mind,
it probably carries a different weight.
Yeah.
And that thought, that taboo thought, it sort of blossoms later, doesn't it, into this idea about intimacy with all 4 sisters.
Yeah, he actually pinpoints that as the moment the idea first entered his head. Shows that strategic thinking again.
Definitely a long game in his mind.
Then there's Rosa, slightly older. Boyish features, he notes, but also a well-endowed bosom. And Nellie. He describes her with curly hair and the look of a 50s Hollywood icon, like Marilyn Monroe.
And his first thought about Nellie?
Straight to photographing her unclothed on a beach, followed by, intimacy. He even thinks, one day, Nellie, one day.
So, you really get this sense of long-term planning, like their projects he's lining up. It's all framed through potential conquest and artistic capture, even years before this date with Lena.
Which brings us to that date. His approach with Lena is, meticulously planned.
Meticulous is almost an understatement, isn't it?
Seriously. He details the whole strategy. Zico's, the expensive restaurant, candlelit meal, ensuring Lena has plenty to drink.
And this is where it gets really clinical.
You mean the alcohol tactic?
Yeah. Ordering Bollinger champagne for her, but tonic water for himself. And his justification.
Oh, right. The pseudoscience bit. That sparkling wine increases the permeability of her cell's biomembranes to help alcohol absorption.
I mean, it just underlines this cold, calculated approach. It's like he sees her biology as just another variable to manipulate in his experiment.
Strips away any sense of real connection, doesn't it? He even sees her new outfit as just a good sign, thinking she'll need to get her money's worth out of it.
Which is quite objectifying.
Very. And he has this whole theory based on his years of experience. He believes direct advances are basically futile.
Unless, as he puts it, The woman initiates or, quote, effectively drag you across the line.
Yeah, he contrasts that with what he sees as the male desire to simply set out to get it. For him, it all comes down to timing.
He actually says timing dictates success or failure.
Which, raises big questions about how he perceives consent, especially when he mentions Freud and decides her, saying, that sounds just great. To coming back to his place is a clear signal for intimacy.
It absolutely does.
Yep.
He's constructing his own reality, isn't he?
Yeah.
Fitting everything into his pre-planned narrative. He sees her agreement through the lens of his strategy, confirming what he already wants to believe.
It's all about control, even filtering her words through his own framework.
Mm-hmm. And that control extends right into the intimate moments themselves.
Okay, so let's talk about his internal landscape during those moments. Again, we're focusing on his thoughts, his plans, keeping it overview level, no explicit stuff. He prepares his flat like a stage set.
Totally. The music, the lighting, fresh sheets, even his personal grooming, the cologne, the shaving detail he mentions.
Right, the bit about enhancing his appearance, it's all part of the setup.
It really is like a ritual. And what's fascinating is the internal conflict he describes. This nice voice telling him to be kind and gentle, to make slow, passionate love.
And the other voice.
Yeah, the other voice pushing for more direct, specific acts. His final decision to make love to her all night seems almost based on her new clothes, which again feels
objectifying. Yeah.
So.
He even has this little ritual with the coffee offer.
Mm-hmm.
Admits it's just to seem honorable, knowing full well his intentions aren't.
It's all performance.
Then comes the kiss. He engineers the closeness, waits for it.
And interprets her reactions, the slight moan, her body's response as confirmation, proof his plan is working.
His own arousal is immediate, strong. But interestingly, he holds back from undressing her right away. Why? Because she looked fantastic in that leather skirt.
Right. His aesthetic appreciation, his photographer's eye, overrides even his immediate physical urge. It's another layer of control.
And it emphasizes that step-by-step approach he seems to take.
Absolutely. He's thinking about specific acts, the order and pace, making conscious choices even when his own desire is high, like delaying certain things, leaving one act for another day, he thinks.
It's like he's directing a scene.
Very much so. And his internal monologue is just filled with these detailed observations of her body, which seem to constantly fuel his desire and guide his next calculated move.
He describes an initial physical encounter by the window as out of this world, time-stopping, but then pulls back.
To prolong it.
Yeah.
To stay in control of the experience. It's all part of the plan.
And then finally, after everything unfolds, this triumphant internal thought referencing Charlotte Bronte.
Dear reader, I fucked her.
Yeah. It's the declaration that his meticulously planned seduction has reached its intended conclusion.
So wrapping this up, what does this all really mean? This deep dive into Lena gives us such a specific window, doesn't it? Into this highly calculated, very internal way of approaching connection, desire. Maybe connection isn't even the right word.
Perhaps interaction is better.
Yeah, interaction.
Yeah.
We've seen his detailed, almost strategic thinking, how he reads signs, how he maintains deliberate control. It's all filtered through his very particular worldview. It really is a fascinating character study. It is. And this deep dive, looking at this specific narrative voice, this genre, it really makes you think, what does it reveal about how desire, intention, perception, how they can completely shape the way an experience is told, even in fiction?
That's a great point.
And maybe for you listening, how might encountering such a precise internal monologue challenge, or maybe affirm your own understanding of intimacy or agency or consent?
Yeah, it doesn't make you see things differently.
Exactly. Hopefully it provides that kind of aha moment about just how powerful and revealing character perspective can be, even when it's telling a fictional story like this one.